Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be making a similar system like a node system that you will see in most games. So what the system is let's say you want to inspect something, you interact with it, you can just rotate your item, and when you want to read the lore or item information, you can press R. It then shows the text assigned to it. When you press R again, you can just go back to inspecting or close it fully. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is making the widget that displays the text whenever you're inspecting. So instead of making a whole new widget, I'm going to build it onto the existing one we've made in the previous episode for the inspection. So open that up, and then immediately we're going to drag in a overlay on the canvas panel. Select it and make sure it's covering the whole screen. So even the offset to 0 and bottom as well. I'm going to call this read text overlay. And onto that I'm going to add a background blur. Set the intensity to 10. And then image. Like so. And for the image also make it scale to full screen. And then for the tint, I'm going to make it black. And then for the alpha, I'm going to make it around 0.2. So you have like a small black overlay on it. Next up, I'm going to add a size box. And I'm going to align this in the center. And then I'm going to have a width override and a height override. For the width, I'm going to do 550. And for the height, it's going to be 750. And then on the size box, I'm going to add a text block. And then for the size, I'm going to do something around, let's say, 22. Then we can compile and save this. Next up, I'm going to make an animation that fades in the text. So we're going to set the render opacity to 0. I'm going to make an animation, call this show text. Make sure you have your overlay selected. On the animation, we're going to select the overlay, render opacity, and by default on 0 it should be value 0, and on 0.25 it should be 1. So like this, if I play it, it fades in nicely. Okay, going to the event graph here, I'm gonna make a new custom event, calling this display text, and I'm gonna add a boolean onto it, and I call this close. And then immediately after this, we're going to branch it. And if close is true, which means we want to hide the text, we're going to get our animation. Search for play animation reverse. And then if we want to show it, we're going to copy show text animation again. Play animation forward. And also going to make a new variable in here as well. Call is reading. And then when we've stopped reading, we want to set it to false. When we are reading, we want to set it to true. And then make sure that we've set our text block as a variable. And then select it here. And we want to call set text. And then in one of the previous episodes, we've set this up. And this is the inspection settings. So if you don't remember it, on our master actor, we have these settings here. The master is called item settings. And in there you have inspection settings, which is a struct. In that struct, we have a text here that we can get. So how that works is we can just literally drag out the variable, then call break. And for this, we only need the item name. And we can attach it like so. So it gets the desired text from the interface that we've set up in one of the, I think the first of the series, the interaction set system. So next up, we can go to the component. And then the first thing we're going to do is in our inspection system. So which is called in the interaction actor. we open inspection and then move this out a bit. And then as I mentioned, this event inspection init inspect we didn't use yet. So I'm going to drag out on our widget ref, call init inspect. And then grab our core settings and attach it so it displays the text nicely. Next up, we need two more events called display text page. And for that, we're going to get our inspection widget ref, check if it's valid, which means the widget is active. And then if it's valid, you want to branch it. And then from this, we get is reading on the branch. And then we're going to get our inspection widget ref once again. Then we call the event we've just made, called display text. Copy it over one more time. So if we're reading and we're interacting with it again, we want to stop reading. So we want to have it on close. If we're not reading yet and we are going to read, we want to not close it and fire and just leave it unchecked. Next up, we want to update the state in the component as well. So for that, I'm going to make a new variable called isReading as well. And then a new function called reading state. For that, we're going to get our inspection widget ref, call isReading, and then set the variable on here as well. Now, if we go back, make sure to attach this. We can call reading state right here. And then also add this to the inspect category. Perfect. Next up, the character setup. So we've already made the binding for reading. If you don't remember, you can search for ia_read, which is this one right here. We've already set that up to our IMC for the inspect, which is this one right here. If you've not done that, make sure to do it, since we're going to use that right now. So search for ia_read. And then for start, we want to get our interaction component and then call display text page right here. And then also one thing it's good to do right now. Let me first use this comment, read action. Copy this color. Because right now, when you're going to read the pages, you'll still be able to rotate the item, which will be in the background. Myself, I find that quite annoying and distracting when you're reading something, and if you accidentally move your mouse, the item starts rotating. So to counter that, I'm going to add a branch. And then from BBC interaction, I'm going to get is reading. And if that's false, which means we are not reading, we can rotate the item. And as soon as you're reading the text that's linked to that item, you can no longer rotate. It's a personal preference, but yeah, it's just nice that you can just read and not have the items move in the back. So now we can test it out, see how it works. I've already put text here. So when I walk up to it, R, then the text is placed. And when I move my mouse, I can no longer rotate the item. When I press R again, I can just rotate the item and back and forth. But it looks like my text is not updating. So let me check why that's not doing it currently. Let me see if it even displays the text. When I press R, I should see the text and it says hello, which is not correct for this one. Could be that we've missed something, which is in the interact actor. Oh, I see where I messed up here. I think I didn't have the right naming here. So I should split this one, then get inspection settings text. So if I check this out right now, I don't need type and name. And now when I see this is text, this is a cube. It should now display this is a cube. R, this is a cube, perfect. And then when I keep pressing R, looks like it worked. So yeah, that's an upgrade for the inspection system, which also similar like a node system. So and you can also have different variations of it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next one. See you guys next time.